All right. I want to answer Amy's question about foot pressure on the foot pad at different parts of the stroke. I could talk about this for probably 15 minutes here. So I want to try and be concise, though, and I don't have a rower on me at the moment, so I'm not able to actually show it to you. But generally, it's pretty simple. When you're at the catch position, this is going to be the foot pad, okay? This is my foot for now. When you're at the catch, your heel's going to lift up a little bit for most people. It really depends on your ankle mobility, but it's not wrong for it to lift up. You'll hear some CrossFit coaches suggest that that's wrong. It's totally irrelevant, all right? Think about when you're doing a box jump. You load your hips and you lean forward a little bit because you're trying to get on the balls of your feet, which indicates that you're trying to recruit your quad muscles to propel you upward. In the same way, when you're approaching the catch position, you're going to get on the ball of your foot there so that you can drive back using your quads. Your quads are responsible for 65% of the stroke power. 65 to 75% of the stroke power is from you driving back with your legs. All right. That driving back with your legs should take you through to about half slide where you're thinking about that. While you're driving back with your legs, right? You're on the balls of your feet and you drive back. Never again during that stroke are you really thinking about how much pressure am I applying to my foot pad. Because after that initial leg drive, which should be very explosive and powerful, you're then thinking about, and this is no longer a foot, this is your back, this is your torso angle at the catch. After you drive back with your legs, your torso is going to swing open. And think about the weight of your torso. That's a lot of weight, right? It's not even almost muscular. You're just taking your mass and you're leaning backwards, which is why I'm always trying to get you guys to swing, right? This is your body angle, your torso angle at the catch. This is your torso angle at the finish. So after your leg drive, where the ball of your foot is on that foot pad, once that's complete in a continuous pattern, and of course there's overlay, you open with your body, and then after that, you're nearing the finish. What do? You pull through with your arms. Now, I think Amy's question is related to the fact, two things. I'm asking you to row at a lower stroke rating, which means now you have more time resources to be thinking about where your body is during the stroke. That's exactly why we do that, right? So you can start to figure out, well, wait a minute, where should my thoughts be here? Leg drive during the catch, and then you open with your body, and then that pull with your arms. I have to be honest with you. This is where, if I have no more power to give from my legs on the leg drive, I can get a couple of seconds out of my pace by just my arm pull into my upper abs and sternum. So I would never, had Amy not asked the question, this would never be a primary talking point from a coach to an indoor rower. It would have to be on the water because there's so much hand work going on with squaring and feathering an oar blade. So you have to get into what the hands are doing at the finish. It's primary to rowing. But on the indoor rower, none of that is happening. And if I tell you, I want you to strongly pull the handle into your abs, what usually happens when you use that kind of wording with CrossFitters, when they're at the catch position, they're already thinking about using their arms. When you have to do a massive leg drive and then you have to open with your body, you do all of that before you even think about bending your arms. So I never would front with this idea that, hey, when you're approaching the finish, I want you to really pull nicely into your upper abdomen. I wouldn't really speak in that language because I bet it would throw some of you off. But that said, I can relate to you in the sense that when I'm trying to do negative splits on a low rating piece, it often comes down to I have nothing more to give from my legs and my body, but I can get a little more from my arms. And here's the thing. It's not even really your arms that it's not a muscular effort. You have to appreciate the fact that there's a flywheel in that front thing, right? In that circular enclosure. And all you're doing every stroke is trying to top off the speed of that flywheel. When you're at the end of your stroke, at the finish, when you're approaching the finish, that flywheel you've already produced a lot of acceleration on it. So at the very end of the stroke, you're just topping off the speed. So for you to pull in strongly isn't necessarily an act of you showing how much arm power you have. It's much more about your understanding of physics and understanding that you following through with acceleration into your upper abs, it creates more power. So I'm actually geeking out on this because I actually enjoy that moment where on a low stroke rating, I'm pulling firmly into my upper abs and I can see a 2-second difference. If I'm pulling a 153, I can get that down to a 151 if I just put my mind on like whipping it in. But you see what word I use there? Like I use whipping. Now, so now what's going to happen is that doesn't mean I'm asking you to accelerate your mass. I'm actually asking you to pull in sharply with your arms, but while that's happening, your torso almost starts to drift forward a little bit. I have to show this to you because this gets into advanced technical things. I hope I gave you enough though for now. If you're thinking about pressure on the foot plate from half slide to the finish, please don't do that. I see some rowers do it. They're like, once they make that heel contact, they think, oh, now I can be explosive. Okay, idiot. You're going to shoot off the back of the rower when you're supposed to be going forward. You're accelerating your mass at the wrong moment. So there's a rhythm to this. It's not all muscular and power all the time. It's rhythm. All right, I've said enough. The video is nearly 8 minutes long. I know we have to go over this point more now. Right now we're really getting into good rowing mechanics. So we've got to get a clinic in place. I have a client up there on Sundays sometimes. We have to figure out a time. We'll talk about that separately on WhatsApp. All right, bye.